My grandma Helen had cancer. No one in the family wanted to help her. My older sister Anna and sister-in-law Betty kicked her out of the house. My parents John and Mary told her to give up. My Aunt Lily and her fiancé James scolded her for not dying sooner to settle things. I, Emma, was the only one who secretly visited her. I brought good food. I saved up to buy her an air conditioner. One day she revealed her legacy. She owned an old mansion in upstate New York. She knew where priceless antiques were hidden. The family's attitude flipped overnight. Everyone started fawning over her. They acted like she was royalty. When she passed away, she left her estate to everyone except me. That Lunar New Year, I went back to our hometown. No one else wanted to join. My mom snapped at me. She said Grandma didn't leave me a dime. My brother Tom sprawled on the couch playing video games. Dad glued his eyes to his phone. He pretended not to hear. They saw her as bad luck since her diagnosis. They avoided her like the plague. Thinking of her kind face, I couldn't let her spend the holiday alone. I asked Dad if he was going back. I suggested calling Anna or Betty. Grandma was still living at their place. Dad frowned. His eyes stayed on his screen. He told me not to bother him. He said whoever wanted to go could go. He was busy. I called Anna. She picked up after a long wait. She cut me off when I mentioned visiting Grandma. She said she and Betty were busy with the kids. They didn't have time to go back. She said Grandma wasn't paralyzed and didn't need them. She hung up. Before I could reach Lily, she posted in the family group chat. Her family was off to Florida. They weren't coming back this year. Anger choked me. When Grandma was healthy, they weren't like this. Helen was a skilled worker. She was hardworking and capable. She raised all us grandkids single-handedly. My parents, obsessed with having a son, left me with her from infancy. If not for her insistence, I'd be a nameless kid without a birth certificate. I had to see her. I wanted her to know someone genuinely cared. Grandma always treated us grandkids fairly. With her pension, she bought us treats. She never played favorites. Anna, Dad, and Lily fought to have her live with them back then. She was tidy. She cooked well. She was educated. Having her around was like having a free nanny. When she got sick and couldn't contribute, they turned on her. She was still my grandma. If they wouldn't go, I would. I arrived and saw her hunched over, tending vegetables in the yard. She was skin and bones. Her cheeks were sharp. Her eyes were sunken. She looked like a walking skeleton. My nose stung. She turned when the gate creaked. She asked why I was there. She waved me inside. Her torn sweater spilled white stuffing. I held back tears. I carried milk and cookies inside. The house was freezing. There was no heater or stove. To save electricity, she didn't use the air conditioner I bought. She boiled water to tuck into her blanket for warmth. She made a hot compress for me. She coughed hard. She thought none of us were coming this year. She asked where my parents were. Her eyes brimmed with hope. I couldn't tell the truth. I mumbled they were working and couldn't get time off. She didn't ask more. She cooked me a full meal. She tried to wash dishes. I stopped her. She insisted. Her coughs grew worse. Her face flushed. She coughed up blood and collapsed. I called 911. The village was far from the hospital. It was a half-hour drive. I called Dad repeatedly. He didn't pick up. I sent a video to the family chat. I begged for help. The group went silent. Kind neighbors helped me get her to the hospital. After a night in the ER, she pulled through. The doctor said her cancer had progressed too far. She had a month at most. I wrote in the family chat. I said Grandma didn't have much time. I asked when they were coming to the hospital. No one replied. 10 minutes later, I typed that Grandpa died early. Grandma raised them alone. I asked why they were ignoring her now. Anna sent a long voice message. She asked who told me to handle this. She called me a kid who knew nothing. She said the disease was incurable. She asked if they should bankrupt themselves to save her. Lily chimed in. She said she had 2 kids to raise. Tuition and extracurriculars cost money. My heart froze. The woman who raised them was worthless to them now. She was poor and sick. Dad called. His voice was sharp. He said no one was paying for her hospital stay. He told me to take her home. He asked to let me take her to the hospital. He said I had no money to treat her. He told me not to expect a cent from him. He said to pay for it myself. I choked. I cried and yelled into the phone. I said I'd pay. I'd work to pay for her. I said none of them had a conscience. Mom grabbed the phone. She shouted that I wasn't noble. She asked why I cared if they didn't. She told me to get back home. A hand touched my cheek. I saw Grandma awake. She weakly wiped my tears. She told me not to be scared. She said she had money. She'd make them come back. I thought she was joking. At her house, I found a bank card in her nightstand. It had a balance of over $1 million. She called each of them. She transferred $20,000 to their accounts. She said to come visit her at the hospital. Whoever came would get more. Anna and Betty arrived first. Anna shoved her kid into Grandma's arms. She said the kids missed her. She claimed they wanted to bring her home. Betty smiled slyly. She told Grandma to call if she needed anything. She mentioned the kids' school fees were high. Grandma smiled gently. She said not to worry. She had money. Anna and Betty grinned. They rushed to pour water and make tea. They served her eagerly. My parents came next. They carried fruit baskets. They smiled warmly. Dad said thank God I was there. He said they wouldn't know how to face her otherwise. He mentioned their car was old. It'd be tough to drive her around. He looked at her expectantly. Grandma nodded. She agreed it was time for a new car. Anna blurted out. She asked how much money Grandma had. Grandma smiled. She said to wait until Lily was there. Lily caught a red-eye flight from Florida. She burst in sobbing. She asked if Grandma was okay. She said she dropped everything to come back. Grandma nodded. She said she'd cover the plane ticket. Grandma spoke slowly. She called them to discuss her final arrangements. Her time was running out. No one came back for Lunar New Year. She wanted an early family dinner. She pulled a cloth bag from under the bed. It had $940,000 in cash. Everyone's eyes lit up. They were glued to the money. Greed burned. Grandma told me to take $100,000 to book a dinner. She counted 10 stacks. She handed them to me. Dad snatched them. He said a kid like me couldn't book anything. He'd handle it. Anna and Lily's eyes followed the cash. They itched to grab their share. Grandma zipped the bag shut. She smiled. She said this was a small part. Who got what depended on their behavior. Anna pressed. She asked where the money came from. She asked where the rest was. Grandma glanced at her calmly. She asked why the rush. Anna forced a smile. She said she was worried someone might steal it if Grandma went too soon. Lily hugged Grandma's arm. She sneered at Anna. She asked if Anna wanted Grandma to die early. Anna's face darkened. She glared at Lily. Grandma explained. She said Grandpa was from upstate New York. He moved to escape trouble. His family owned an old mansion. They hid valuable antiques to avoid theft. This money came from him. He told her to reveal it only near the end. She was to give it to whoever proved truly filial. Their faces shifted. Lily clung to Grandma. She cried that Grandma always loved her most. She said seeing her thin broke her heart. Anna brought hot water. She said she'd wash Grandma's feet. Dad carried in food. He said Grandma loved steamed eggs. He offered to feed her. Grandma moved to a VIP hospital room. The family sat for a warm dinner. They were all smiles and harmony. My heart was heavy. I knew they weren't there for love. They wanted the money. Grandma seemed happy. She might have wanted to feel loved one last time, even if it was fake. They competed to please her. Anna shooed me away. She told me to rest. She said they had enough people. Lily added that I had school after the holiday. They'd handle it. Mom blocked me. She asked why I wasn't needed. She said the mansion should go to us. Lily exploded. She asked on what grounds. She said I was after the money too. I snapped back. I said they showed up only after hearing about the money. I said Lily was too busy vacationing to care before. I accused her of pretending to be devoted. Lily's face reddened. She grabbed my arm. She asked what her vacation had to do with me. She said it was her mom. Anna jumped in. She asked why we were fighting. She claimed the mansion as the eldest. Dad spoke up. He suggested there might not be a mansion or antiques. He said Grandma might have made it up to test us. The room went silent. Anna frowned. She said it could be true. She asked where the money came from. Lily turned to me. She told me to ask Grandma where the mansion was. She asked if it had a deed. Grandma's voice came from the doorway. She said there was no need to ask me. She had the deed. She walked in dressed in hospital clothes. She slammed a property deed on the table. On her wrist was a jade bracelet. It shimmered. She said it was one of the antiques Grandpa left. She asked if they believed her now. They froze. They nodded awkwardly. They said they believed her. She stayed in the hospital a few days. She insisted on going home. The old house was cleaned up. It was decked out like a luxury retreat. The family showed up. It was livelier than ever. Grandma wore new clothes. They hung loose on her frail frame. She always smiled. Her eyes were kind but unreadable. That Lunar New Year, she was generous. Whatever anyone asked for, she agreed. Tom wanted the latest iPhone. My cousin Sarah asked for a laptop. Cousin Michael demanded a new car. She nodded to all of it. The family grew closer to her. She hugged me once. She whispered what I wanted. Her hug was all bones. I wiped tears. I said I wanted her healthy and living long. She smiled softly. She patted my head. She said that'd be nice, but she couldn't give me that. I choked up. I said I wanted her to stop hurting. She hugged me tighter. She told me to study hard. She said education was my future. Her condition worsened. Painkillers stopped working. Nurses came to give stronger shots. She went from shuffling to bedridden. After the holiday, everyone returned to school or work. Her kids stayed put. Before I left for school, I overheard Anna and Lily whispering. Anna said the deed was real. The mansion was worth at least $100 million. The bracelet was worth millions. She wondered if Grandma would give anything to John's family. Lily scoffed. She called me a sweet talker. She said to kick me out before Grandma softened. Dad clapped my shoulder. He asked if I heard it all. He told me not to go back to school. He said to stay and look after Grandma. He said our family was counting on this to strike it rich. He said with money, we'd get Tom a wife easily. I shook off his hand. I yelled I was staying for Grandma, not money. I said I'd make sure no one bullied her while bedridden. Anna and Lily sneered. They said to admit I wanted money. They told me not to act high and mighty. Grandma grew dazed. Her lucid moments were rare. Anna and Lily got antsy. She hadn't written a will. They feared she'd leave everything to me. They kept me away from her. One day she seemed better. Her face was rosy. Her mind was sharp. I knew it was the final rally. She gathered everyone. She called a lawyer. She read her will aloud. The mansion went to Anna. Her family was big and needed space. The location of the antiques went to John. He was to treat me well. Her savings went to Lily. Her family was better off, so she got less. Anna grinned. Dad beamed. He said he'd take care of me. Lily's face soured. She asked why she only got cash. She said it was unfair. Grandma replied calmly. She told Lily not to take it. Lily froze. She shrieked she deserved it. She said she served Grandma all this time. Grandma waved me over. She said she had nothing left to give me. She told me to study hard. She said education makes you somebody. Tears streamed down my face. I nodded. I said I'd study hard. She looked at me one last time. Her eyes were warm. She closed them forever. I sobbed uncontrollably. Anna and Lily bickered over the will. They didn't notice she was gone. Per our town's tradition, children mourn for 7 days. Lily, upset about her share, left immediately. She leaned close. She sneered I was an idiot. She said Grandma left me nothing. She said it served Grandma right to die in pain. She accused her of favoring her son. I clenched my teeth. I trembled with rage. I told her to give the money back if she hated it. I said she was cursing Grandma even after her death. I called her inhuman. Lily raised her hand to slap me. She said Grandma couldn't protect me. She said Dad wouldn't care. Dad and Anna heard the commotion. They stayed silent. Anna lit a cigarette. She said to let Lily blow off steam. I laughed bitterly. I asked why not let her hit Dad. I called them all trash. Anna raised her hand to slap me. A gust of wind slammed the door shut. Her hand hit a nail on the frame. Blood spurted. She screamed. I snorted. A cool breeze dried my tears. I knew Grandma was protecting me. I didn't blame her for leaving me nothing. She'd given me her whole life. I once wondered why she left me out. I understood everything she did was for my good. The will took effect. The family celebrated at a fancy restaurant. Anna, a few drinks in, laughed loudly. She said to sell the house and move to New York. She said Grandma was useless her whole life. She was only worth something after she died. The table roared with laughter. I couldn't smile. I sipped my juice quietly. Michael grumbled. He said his car was only half paid off. He had loans. Anna soothed him. She said she'd buy him a fancy car once they sold the mansion. Michael grinned. He raised his glass. He thanked her. He called himself a rich kid. Lily said coldly they should split the estate again. She said she took care of Grandma the most. She asked why she got the least. Tension spiked. Dad slammed the table. He asked what her problem was. He said I was the most filial and got nothing. He said the antiques were worth hundreds of millions. He asked what more she wanted. Lily stood. She slammed the table. She said it was unfair. She demanded $10 million from everyone. She threatened to sue. Anna snapped. She accused Lily of ruining the family. She said tens of millions was generous. She said a married-out daughter shouldn't get anything. Lily flung wine at Anna's face. She said she was there for Mom. She called Anna a leech who abandoned Grandma when sick. Dad tried to calm them. He said I was the most filial. He said they should give their shares to us. Lily smirked. She said Grandma bullied the weak. She said I cared for her all her life and got nothing. I stood up. My teeth were clenched. I said Grandma wasn't like that. I told them to stop insulting her. Lily glared. She said Grandma favored men. She didn't deserve pity. She said Dad wouldn't give me a cent. She called me useless. I turned to Dad. My voice was steady but choked. I asked if he'd give me any money from the antiques. He avoided my eyes. He scratched his nose. He asked why I thought so much. He said he'd save some for my dowry when I married. Lily scoffed. She said we were fools for slaving away. Anna slammed her glass. She said it was Grandma's choice. She told Lily to ask Grandma in the afterlife. Lily threw a plate at Anna. She warned that no one was selling the house or antiques. She said she'd fight to the end. The restaurant turned chaotic. There were shouts and broken dishes. Wine spilled everywhere. I bowed my head. I left. Outside, the moon glowed. Stars were sparse. I remembered nights on the roof with Grandma. Crickets chirped. She read stories by flashlight. An idea struck. Dad called people to dig where Grandma said the antiques were hidden. They found wooden chests. After appraisal, they held rare ancient porcelain. They were worth at least $100 million. Dad was ecstatic. Before selling them, he quit his job. He borrowed heavily to buy 2 houses. One was to live in. One was for Tom's future wife. He laughed. He said I was a girl. My husband would have a house. I didn't need one. I didn't reply. I buried myself in books. I studied hard. Mom got mad. She wanted to lecture me. Dad stopped her. He said to let me be. He said we were rich now. We didn't need me to support them. Anna sold her house. She planned to move into the mansion. She wanted to live like a New Yorker. She called Dad. She bragged about showing him the old streets in Times Square. Dad agreed eagerly. He packed for the trip. I reminded him softly, Grandma's 7-week memorial was coming. We should light incense. He waved me off. He asked why go back. He said no one was watching the incense. I returned alone. Only I lit incense for her. Only I found her final secret. Dad prepared to sell the antiques. Police swarmed in. Someone reported our family for illegally holding national treasures. The items had to be surrendered. Dad's face went pale. He trembled. He didn't dare argue. He tried hiding one piece. It was found. After the police left, he collapsed. He was dazed. I stood at Grandma's altar. I placed incense gently. I whispered she was still protecting me. Dad grabbed my collar. He asked how they knew. He asked if it was me. He said I snitched because he didn't buy me a house. I pried his hand off. I fixed my collar. I asked why he suspected me. I asked what I'd gain. I said I didn't know he hid the antiques. Mom chimed in. She asked why I'd report it. She suggested Anna or Lily did. Anna called. She said the mansion was donated to the state years ago. We were stunned. Checks showed Grandma donated it while alive. Its location made it insanely valuable. Anna rushed to our house. She was gaunt. She grabbed Dad. She asked what now. She promised her son and daughter-in-law a house. She said they'd divorce if she didn't deliver. Dad pushed her off. He said he was drowning in debt from buying houses. He asked who tipped off the cops. Anna gritted her teeth. She said it wasn't Grandma. She said it left one person. They dragged me to Lily's. Dad shouted. He said Grandma loved me most. He said the antiques were gone. He told me to step up. He told me to have a conscience. I bit my lip. I thought of Grandma's warm eyes. She truly loved me. I wasn't ready to reveal the truth. Lily was clueless. Dad kicked her. He asked if she hated him that much. Lily grabbed him. She asked what he was talking about. She said he got the house and antiques. Anna cut in. She said the house was taken. The antiques were confiscated. She said Lily was the only one with money. She demanded an explanation. Lily laughed. She said Grandma wasn't simple. She said Grandma played them even after death. Anna's face purpled. She said Lily got tens of millions. She demanded half. Dad yelled. He demanded half too. He accused Lily of tipping off the cops. Lily shrugged. She said it wasn't her. She asked who snitched. Tension flared. Anna squinted. She mentioned the jade bracelet Grandma wore. It was buried with her. It was worth millions. I froze. They were ready to dig up her grave. Dad and Lily hesitated. They nodded. They said the dead were dead, but money was alive. They hired an excavator. They planned to dig at midnight. I stood in front of the machine. My face was flushed. I said no one touches her grave while I'm here. Dad kicked me. He told me to get out. He said he'd die paying debts without money. Lily crossed her arms. She called me dumb. She said Grandma left me nothing. She said I was playing loyal. Anna snapped. She told them to move me aside. I gritted my teeth. I stood up. I grabbed a rock. I threw it at them. I said they were digging her grave when she was barely gone. I said they deserved to be broke forever. I called her their mother. I said they had no conscience for money. Dad clutched his eye where the rock hit. He said conscience was useless without money. He said I wouldn't finish school without it. The excavator driver watched. He was unsure. I wiped tears. I pulled a jade bracelet from my pocket. I said I took it while watching her coffin. They froze. Dad lunged. He tried to grab it. He asked why I didn't say sooner. I didn't dodge. I smashed the bracelet against a stone. It shattered. Pieces flew. I said it belonged to no one now. Anna and Lily screamed. They asked if I knew how much it was worth. They said it was gone. Dad slapped me twice. He said I ruined everything. He asked if I could pay back millions. Anna gritted her teeth. She said breaking it didn't end this. She said she'd dig to check if it was real. I glared. I said if they dug her grave, I'd ruin their family's name. I threatened Lily's in-laws and husband. I told Dad I'd tell his friends he was a disgrace. I lay on her grave. I shielded it with my body. I told the driver to go home. I said digging graves brings bad karma. He muttered we were crazies. He saw no payment. He drove off. They cursed and left. I sat by the grave. I sobbed. I said I'd studied hard. I said I was going abroad to study. I wouldn't visit often. A breeze passed. Dry leaves brushed my cheek. It was like her hand comforting me. My study abroad application went smoothly. I'd leave tomorrow. The family cut my allowance long ago. Dad, Anna, and Lily kept fighting. Lily refused to share her money. Dad and Anna demanded splits. They got nothing. They turned to me. Mom probed. She asked if Grandma left me anything. She said Grandma loved me most. She asked how she could not. I met her eyes. I smiled faintly. I asked what she thought. I asked what Grandma would leave me. Mom frowned. She suggested some money. She asked how I'd been living without their support. They cut my allowance to see if I'd reveal wealth. I said my school offered student loans. Mom's face twisted. She yelled they wouldn't pay those back. I turned away. I said Grandma left me something. I visited her grave alone. I went to her old room. Under the bed was a fairy tale book. Inside a hollow was a pair of jade bracelets. There was a phone number. I called it. A voice answered. He asked if I was Emma. I said yes. The lawyer spoke politely. He said Helen opened an account in my name. She deposited about $20 million. I could access it any time. My voice broke. I asked how he knew I'd call. He chuckled. He said Helen said her granddaughter was smart. She'd find the number. He said the bank would contact me if I didn't. He said it was a gift, not an inheritance. No one could take it. Tears burned my eyes. I whispered thank you. The bracelets were ones she wore her whole life. She wore them even in pain to pass to me. She planned everything. She donated the mansion while alive. She had the lawyer report the antiques after her death. She knew her kids didn't deserve what wasn't earned honorably. She left enough for me to live securely. She donated the rest to the country. The lawyer added. He said Helen told me to use the money for myself. He said to contact him if there was trouble. She paid his fees in full. I covered my face. I sobbed like a child. Even gone, she never stopped caring for me. While studying abroad, I got late-night calls. Dad screamed. He said he knew Grandma left me money. He said it wasn't all mine. He said he had a share. He told me to pay his house loans. He said I was no daughter otherwise. I sat by a window. I gazed at a foreign city. I replied calmly. I told him to do what he wanted. I said I'd treat him how he treated Grandma. I said I'd leave him in the village when he was sick. He cursed wildly. Mom called me ungrateful. They rallied Anna and Lily to pressure me. I didn't answer. I blocked them. I sent their threats to the lawyer. Grandma paid enough to protect me for life. If they cursed her or harassed me, the law would handle it. My phone stayed silent. A year later, I returned for Grandma's first memorial. At the cemetery, Dad and relatives blocked me. They demanded answers. They said I took the money and ran. They asked if I felt guilty. They said the money wasn't mine. I wore sunglasses. I smiled faintly. I waved. Men in black suits stepped up behind me. I said the money was mine. I said anyone stopping me from honoring Grandma wouldn't like the consequences. They backed off. They were silent. I lit incense. I offered flowers. I spoke softly to her. After the ceremony, I turned to leave. They rushed after me. They smiled. They said to come home for dinner. They said we'd sort the money later. I smiled lightly. I shook my head. I said I had a flight to catch.